what my father put up with and what his father put up with, I ain't putting up with. Simple as that. And if it means going to jail, so what? It costs you money to keep us anyway. Joke's on you, mate. You know what I mean? You can take my freedom, but you can't take my life.
But there was a lot of stuff. I was exposed to a lot of stuff like that in the Reno. A lot of conversation about it's the end of certain things. Like you're just saying, like, no more am I doing this. I mean, like, no more am I even working for the man. You know.
No, well, you can understand why. I mean, it's not just that working for the man. You get a job, you go to work.
Yeah.
Right. Wages are crap to begin with.
Yeah.
Right. And then you got to put up with certain man's idiotic ways. You know, I went for a job with, in Ancoats, like a steel foundry with my brother Philip. And the man's taking me through, showing me around. And this black guy working, and he said to me, I don't like black people, but they're good workers.
Oh.
Right? And then by this time we're in his office, knock the door open, and the guy went, yeah, what can I do for you? And I went, that's my brother. I got up and just walked out.
What did you say? Wow.
You with me? You know. Now, if he hadn't have said that, I'm also going to took the job. But because he said that, I thought, I ain't going to last here.
Yeah, well, of course.
I'm not kidding myself.
Yeah, but of course you're not. But the thing is, though, there's a little slightly different step to that, though, as well. Because even if he hadn't have said that, he still thinks that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you don't know what someone's thinking until you hear what they've got to say.
No, of course you don't. But the thing, you're dead right, of course you don't. But that's his mentality at the time anyway.
Oh, well, the mentality then was, I mean, I got the sack from a job, right, all over Muhammad Ali.
Wow.
Well, got this job, we're talking about Muhammad Ali. He'd lost he had his title then, he'd lost it, right, because when he fought Fraser, right, he didn't have the title, did he, because he took it off him.
I don't remember proper, but
well, the Vietnam War, you know.
Oh, of course, because he won't go to war.
So, Ali got beat, didn't he? And I was really upset, you know. I mean, inside I was. So I don't need some idiot, you know, trying to wind me up. Especially, you know, some white kid that wants to belittle, you know, not just Ali. He's belittling me. You know, going on, I'm glad the nigger got beaten up.
Oh, right.
So, I ended up telling him, well, shut it, and he picked up a bail hook for bales, and he came forward, and kind of, you're not doing it, in other words, you're not carrying out that with me, because I automatically go on defensive, don't you? So, boom. And as he's gone back, he's landed in the bin, like a rubbish bin. He got stuck in it like that. You know what I mean? Now look. So his two mates have come along, because I hadn't been there long. I got the job, because my dad was working there.
Right.
And his two mates get him out, you know, and you could see they kind of let go of him. That broke his nose. Me, I just let him have it. And the two of them jumped on me and pulled me off. You know, but that was over the same thing, you know, and I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, my dad works here as well. Dad got the sack about 3 weeks later.
You did?
He do the same thing over me. You women, well, don't talk like that in front of me.
Yeah. Do they know it's your dad?
Oh, aye.
And they've said they're glad that, what did they say again? They're glad that the...
Well, when I went in front of the guy that owned the place.
Yeah.
Because the kid had been there longer than me.
Yeah.
Right, he said, well, look, I said to him, look, any man that wants to go and bail up, I said, I'm going to defend myself, right? And he asked what it was about. I told him straight what it was about, right? You know, he said, well, look, because he had two friends there, he says, I believe what you're saying, but because he's been here the longest, I've got no choice but to let you go. So fair enough, fair dues. I was going anyway.
Yeah.
Once that happened, I was going anyway.
Yeah.
But the thing is, yeah, you know, you have people that go on with themselves and don't know what you are until you tell them.
Yeah.
You know, and so rather than living in an environment where you've got racist people going on with themselves and you've got to work, I don't want to work with you at all. But we're going to fall out.
Do you know what, Brian? That's a really strange existence that you've had, really. I'm not sounding patronising or foolish, but I'm really thinking about what you're saying. It's like, that's really if I walk round, I look like what I am. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, like I look half white and half black, but that must be really strange for a whole set of people to be talking to you unwittingly. Yeah,
well, you see, I tried the army. I'll give you a laugh. And doing the training, there's a guy from Nigeria called Platt, and he was doing his basic training there, then going to the office, going to Sanders.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to wear the stigmas, get the nigger, get it. You know, I had to play like game like murder ball. When he had the ball, that's what you'd hear, get the nigger, get the ball. Wow. Me and Platt got on great. And I always remember, you do, you have your locker.
Yeah.
And I've got my brothers and sisters and family in it.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember someone coming along and going, who are them? I went, what do you mean? Fucking black cunts. I looked at him and I said, that's my family.
Wow.
And he just looked at me like that and kind of whacked away and disappeared. Are you with me?
Yeah.
But the thing is, if that's the way they're going on with themselves, you're expected to fight with these people.
Yeah.
How can you fight with people who don't even like where you come from?
Wow.
You know, and I felt sorry for Platt, you know, because racism then was racism. Look at Roy when Roy was in the army. You see the army photograph of him?
Yeah.
He didn't cut his hair, did he?
No.
You know what I mean? That, I suppose, the way that was a statement.
Yeah.
Are you with me? You know, and Roy, Milton will tell you, Roy had run-ins with the fucking corporals, you know, when he was in the army, you know what I mean? Knocked a couple out through the same thing, colour.
It's crazy though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think when someone says, yeah, you black cunt, man, I'm directing at me, I look at my grandfather. You know, and I say, well, that's what you'd be calling them, you see. And I look at my brothers and I say, that's what you'd be calling them.
Yeah.
You know.
You're a bit like a double agent. That sounds
really... Be alright inflating, I'd be alright.
Yeah.
You know, getting into the National Front for information.
Yeah, but as you're talking, that's what I'm seeing. It's like, yeah, you know, like learning all these. Yeah, but you are like a double agent.
Well, funny enough, in the summer, obviously, the skin goes darker. And I've had this hat on. I've had other hats on, especially if I grow a beard.
Yeah.
I've got people, you know, what do they say? Muslims.
What?
That when they greet you.
Oh, I can't say it, but I know what you mean.
You know.
Yeah.
I remember being on the garage before it became a car wash. And I've got a hat on my mate gave me, he brought it from Morocco. And he gave it me, and I've got it on. And some guy, you know, the white guy, oh, come on, man. Excuse me, in flight, can you tell me why you wear that hat? And I went, yeah, because my head's cold. It's true. You know, the hat's like this. If I grow a beard, and I've got this on, people mistake me what I'm not.
Yeah.
Can you understand what I'm saying? It's an illusion, isn't it?
No, but Brian, you've had a really strange existence again because you've gone round being mistaken all over the place.
Well, that's the adventure of being mixed race, man.
Yeah.
It's lovely. You know, I've said it all now, I'll always say it, right? We're the best looking kids in the world. Because you know why? Because we come out all colours.
Yeah. We
can look Chinese, this, we can look that. You know, it's great. I'm not ashamed to say it. You know, other people say, well, no. Well, but I say, mixed colours, what do you get? you get beautiful other colours. No, it's true. I mean, if everybody went around painting in black and white, but if you mix colours, look at the rainbow.
Yeah.
You could say we're like the rainbow, different colours. It's great, beautiful.
Tell us your favourite memory in the Reno. Your
My
absolute
favourite
favourite memory in the Reno.
Actually, it was me and Harry Badu.
Go on.
We was playing cards where the toilet was. You know, you used to go to the man's toilet.
Yeah, the table in the little alcove.
And we were playing cards. Me, Harry Badu. Well, the rest might have been there. There's a couple of us. And next thing, Anne grabs Harry and says something about a key. And Harry jumped up. I'm like, it was his dad. The little African guy, didn't cheat him out. And he grabbed Harry like that. I always remember it. It was so funny. Because you can imagine, there you are. You think, yeah, you're gambling.
Yeah.
Like you once turned around. What did you call it? When you said, man, like the mafioso, you said something about it.
Oh, I don't know. Go on anyway.
It was like...
Oh, Goodfellas.
Goodfellas,
yeah,
you're down
yeah,
there.
you think you're in Goodfellas, yeah.
You think you're getting the light. And all of a sudden your dad comes down.
And what was he beating him for, a key?
He locked him out.
Oh.
And when Harry come back, someone said, I don't want to put with that. And Harry went, what can I do? It's my dad.
Yeah, no, exactly. What are you going to do?
You know,
wasting.
You can't do nothing.
No.
My own dad did it. I was down the Reno
Did
one night. My dad had too much to drink.
Right.
Gone down. He said, here's some. He was just got like, here's some. Let me a pint. And I went, nah, Dad, you've had too much. What do you mean I've had too much? Come on there. Then he started, you're only a baby to me. Took his false teeth out. Two false teeth, I took them out. Well, I want to fight me. So I walked out me. And someone said, what are you doing? I said, I'm going home. He said, what, because of this? That's my dad. And I've got 2 kids by then, you know, but that's my father.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no way I'm raising my hand to my family.
Aww.
Simple as that. I don't care. You know, yes, it wasn't, as people say, the greatest father. Still my father, and I still loved him. Simple as that. So I'm not raising my hand. And I sit here to this day, and I'm glad I never, because I understand. I didn't understand it then. I understand a lot my dad went through. 9 kids, mixed race. You know, how do you get accepted? You fight for the country, you still race against, you know, the same country you fight for. You know, people, yeah, you're still that. But I thought, you're still that.
Wow.
So, when we come along, like I said, my dad, I never heard my dad make racist remarks. I never heard him talk about black and white at all, man. He never made racist remarks. But he drilled in us. So, you know, that survival. It's tough out there. You have to defend yourself. You have to stick up for yourself. You might not have nothing, but at least if you stick up for yourself, you still got your pride and your respect.
Yeah.
Your women. But when, like you say, like, sorry, the old ones had to do it, you know, put their head down, someone made, and not that they were frightened of them.
Yeah.
That man would have most probably beat the living daylights, the person that said it. But you can't beat the daylights out of all of them.
Yeah.
Because in them times, you thought, well, you know, you could have guys that walk about, they don't even know the guy you're fighting with, but because he's white and they're white, they're going to jump on top of you because you're black.
Well said.
You know, where we come along, not having it.
Yeah.
Now you can get to, you know, swing. You know, and like I say, these are the lessons you learn, you know, and when you look at your own children, I encourage my children, my grandkids, education, qualification, you can go anywhere in the world, you know, you don't have to be stuck here.
Yeah.
It's up to you as an individual. You've got opportunities we didn't have.
Yeah.
I couldn't go to college, standard now. I couldn't go to uni. Well, you can go to uni, and you've not got the money, they'll give you the money, right? All right, you've got to pay it back, but you know as well as I do, if you're studying and you get a master's degree that you know you're going to make money with, paying them back's nothing, it's peanuts, because the kind of wages you're getting. So, do it, go ahead and do it, enjoy your lives, see a bit of the world, you've got your qualification, because there's more to life than this. And like we grew up with that attitude, fuck the system.
We did.
But now, the only way to fuck the system is join the system. That's the only way you can bend the rules. Otherwise, you go against the system, catch up with you sooner or later. And that's one of the lessons you learn from my time. And when you look at this time, yeah, there's still people out there still trying to buck the system, but you know as well as I know how many's doing big jail, you know, how many's dead. At the end of the day, you know, man that's had thousands, got nothing now.
Yeah. I agree with everything you just said, Brian.
Where they had the money back in the day, which a lot of men did, and had the opportunity to use it rightly, you know, but they didn't because of prejudice. You know, even today to the bank, so a black man goes to the bank for a loan, you ain't getting it.
Today?
Well, say me and you go for a loan, right?
I think it depends on your history. I think back in the 70s, you wouldn't be. I do agree there. I think you'd definitely look at your oddly. But I think modern times, it would depend on your history, your money history.
No, but what I'm saying is if you look at Jamaicans, West Indians, right, you know, descent brought up here, to me, I've always found, and I've seen it in many cases where a man's going for a loan and they won't give it because he lives in Moss Side.
Yeah.
Or culture-wise, they're always seen as party people, they don't want to work. Whereas, you know, if Asian man go, Somali man go, other people go, they're known as workers. Yeah, we can give, because we know they'll work. But that conception, you even see it in old films, you know, you see them old films from the 30s where they portray the black man as, yeah, boss, happy and not a care in the world.
Nobody, oh, fucking hell, we don't know. You know, do you remember Ainsley Harriott? Is that what, he was a cook, a black cook on telly. I think that's his name. Anyway,
yeah.
And he was always dead smiley.
I know you're talking about.
No, but that, you know, like playing along, well, I'm safe, I'm a safe black person, I'm not kind of like, you know, violent or whatever, I'm always happy. Or Rusty Lee, the other cook on telly. I'm just saying, going along with the stereotypes that you're talking about.
You see, what we were just saying there, you know, can't beat the system. You know, so join the system. You know, I used to think that people that have got money, well, yeah, you know, comes and all that, man, you know, thieves and all that. But now I sit and I think, well, wait a minute, right? If you've earned it, you've off your own back, you've studied, got your head down, gone and earned it, then good luck to you. Respect to you. You know, it's like that old thing about the police, oh, don't the police to this, that, and the other. But if you're not breaking the law, you want to be a policeman, go be a policeman.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you can't say to someone, because they don't like the police, don't you join the police. Because more likely, you don't like the police because you're up to no good and you got caught for it. Or you got a few licks and all that. Come on, let's be straight.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, if you get old and you have kids, and then you get a burglary or when your kids go missing, who do you phone for?
The police. The
police. So, to me, because Dougie used to say, oh, you're too conservative, Brian. I said, no, I'm not conservative, man. I'm not conservative at all. I'm just a realist. If you get jail, you get jail. No one asks you to go to jail. You've gone to jail, right? If they don't want to give you this, they don't want to give you that, you're not entitled to them. As you know, they get a lot. But the problem is when you give somebody too much, they want more. And then it spoils it for other people. And then what happens is the system closes in together and crashes down on you like a ton of bricks. And gradually, but slowly, we're taking that off you, we're taking that off you, you're going to have to work that. All because of a few that this is not enough. Because when I did my holiday, you know what I mean? You got nothing. You got nothing as simple as that.
What do you mean you got nothing?
Well, you have a toilet yourself for a kick-off.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, where the hell did you go to the toilet?
Well, you had a potty. Really?
Wow.
When they bang you up, right? And if you're tooed up with somebody, you tell them, don't be going out and that crap in the man, not in the cell.
Right.
You with me? And then, when you think about it, you wore their clothes. Horrible. You know what I mean? Plastic shoes.
Never.
You know, itchy blankets. You know, duvets and all that. Yeah, you're allowed a radio, long wave and medium wave. You couldn't have VHS.
Why?
Well, they said you can get police messages and all that.
Oh, okay.
You know, but the thing was, you picture it. That's what you've got. Now, television, Sky, yourself.
Really? In prison?
Yeah, you've got standard practice.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, standard practice. I've tellies in the cells now. And your little music thing, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And then you can phone out. Hey, listen, trust me.
Is this human rights though?
Well, you see, if you're gonna go to prison, you deserve to be treated humanely.
Yeah.
Right. But you're not there. It's not a holiday. You're not there to dictate to them what you want. They're there to tell you this is how it is. You know, and I think, I always say that when you make things too easy, you're just making a rod for your own back, because people are not afraid of it. And if you're not afraid of something, then you carry on doing what you're doing. Because when someone says, you go to jail for that, maybe 3 years, so what? It's cushy. I get visits. I can phone.
How did you really feel about that though when you was actually in prison?
Not gone, but.
Did you? Did you feel it was cushy?
No, I think it's down to your mentality. When I went, I just got on with it. I didn't blame anybody. I put myself there. You with me?
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not blaming nobody. I got on with it. You know, there's no point in mumbling and grumbling and going on with yourself, because it's like regretting things from the past. Or you could change anything. You're in that situation, you know what you've got to do, you get on with it, you survive. You don't let people take liberties with you, but you don't get, you know, you're not looking to take liberties yourself. You know, and there's a way of dealing with things. Yes, so as you do, you sell a bit of tobacco, you know,
Yeah.
sell tobacco. That was just to survive, just to give you them a bit of extras, you know, because jail's like a jungle in itself.
I can imagine. Well, I can't imagine. It must be like.
You know, it's another society.
Yeah.
But like I say, when I look today, and there's a lot of kids in jail that if they had to get to study, clever. Everybody thinks, oh, man go to jail is an idiot. I don't think so. A lot of men go to jail, man, they're very clever people. And some will come out and go take master's degrees, some will take master's degrees while they're in there. But people say, well, why couldn't they do that outside? They never had that option outside.
Why don't they have that option outside?
Well, you think about it. You've got racism at the time.
Yeah.
Right? Them days, if you wanted to go to college, it cost you money.
I don't remember, did it?
You didn't go to college for free.
I don't remember.
Because you've got to get the books, the pens and all, you know how the system goes, you know. And if you're coming from a poor background, just like school, if you're a clever child and you don't get the right education in the right environment, you're not going to learn. That cleverness is not going to come out on you. You know, and when I was at school, you was expected to leave school and go into an apprenticeship. That was their ambitions for you.
Yeah, is that working class? That's not colour, that's working class.
No, but it just applied. You might as well have been coloured, because it was basically the same thing. You know, you're working class, that's what you are, and that's what you'll stay. And even to this day, you know, there's enough man out there, enough kids that use out there, given the right encouragement and the right backing, they can go a long way without crime.
No, absolutely.
But they don't want to do that, do they? You kind of labelled, aren't you? Well,
But you label yourself, right? Give us a second. You know, when you was in the Reno, everything that you've just said now about learning and your future, would you have said any of that in the Reno?
No, because it's a different time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think there's more opportunity for the youth today if they really want it in education than what we had.
I personally think we thought we were too clever for the system, that there was another way. Not even, I'm being down on us for no reason. I remember really thinking there was another way, that remember I'm 17, 16, right? That everything in the world is wrong, that like you're saying, the Richard twats, everything, and there's another way. There's another way to be in this life.
Well, I think, when you're growing up back in them days,
yeah.
you were growing up, right? It was like stuff the system.
Yeah.
Because the system was always trying to stuff you.
Exactly.
And when you look at your parents, how they struggled through the system, you say, I'm not struggling like that. That's the mentality you end up with.
Yeah.
You go to school, you're not really encouraged at school. It's not like, like I say, I ended up with Milton, Neville Buchanan, Titch. We all ended up like that police, everybody else was going in uniform, but we went in the class for the no-hopers.
Why was you no-hopers? I must admit here, I was great at school. I have to throw it in here. I was great at school.
Once you get the taste of the blues, once you start going where you shouldn't be going.
Okay. So, right then, Brian. So what then gives you the taste for the blues? Do you know what we never seem to have thought. Come on.
The excitement.
Yeah.
The adventure, going into the unknown.
Yeah.
People, it's all right doing something because you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But when you go into the unknown and you don't know what's going to happen, that's the adventure.
Yeah.
You're going into the unknown. You're not going into something, I know about this, It's the unknown you're going into, and the people you meet. You meet all sorts of people.
No, absolutely.
I could never have met the people, I know, if I'd left school and gone straight into work and been a 9-to-5 Joey all my life.
And also, we don't think things through, though, do we, beyond that excitement? I'm not against us.
No, you're thinking next day.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not
against
us. Because how can we be career criminals? However we're making money at the time.
You don't set out to be a career. There's a myth about that. When people are career criminals. You don't set out to be a criminal. Yeah. Right? It's like, when I did what I did, you got to remember, in between these times, I've worked as well. It's not one of these cases where, even though I would sign on the door, you didn't bother because you didn't get nothing. Yeah. So when I did my thing, I never thought that I'm going to be a career criminal. You know what I mean? I'm going to be like, crazy or whatever. No, it didn't work like that. Just at that time in your life, when things, like we'll call it what you said, the golden era. Yeah. You're part of it. Yeah. It's like Goodfellas when you watch the film.
No, exactly.
But even in Goodfellas, it all had to end.
No, I know. At that end, I'm crying for him. Like, no, don't go to it. Brian, smoke. I'm like going.
Smoke?
Of course you can smoke, man. Yeah. At the end of it, like I'm like, oh no, you can't just work for FedEx or whoever he's working for. I can't remember proper. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's adding them two things together, what you said before, that if you can't book the system, but do you know what I'm saying, I think?
Yeah,
I think when you went against,
when you went against the system, think about it.
Yeah, go on.
Right. You're going into an environment which is the norm. Yeah. Think about it. Everybody's trying to hustle to survive. Yeah. Right? Then you come along, and you like it. You like the lifestyle. You like the nightlife. You know what I mean? It gets you. It's like cancer. Sorry to say. It gets to you. It gets to you. And if you don't get out when you should, it'll chew you up and spit you out. Okay. I'm being serious.
No, I know.
Because you can stay somewhere too long and let that start to rule your life.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Where, like I say, there's a period in time when that's what you think about. The Reno, the blues, going here, going there. And as you get older, you start to learn a bit more sense. Some don't, some do. You start to learn, hey, this is not a joke, this. I've got, I can't live my life like this.
Yeah.
All my life.
No, that's all I'm saying to you. When I said career criminal, that's all I meant. Thinking about you can't live your life like this.
No, but not just the criminality side of it. The lifestyle itself. It's like you grow up, don't you? And if you don't grow up, what happens? You end up on the wrong end of a sentence.
Yeah.
Because if you carry on, you eventually get caught. And a few of us did get caught. But we weren't bang at it day in, day out, day in, day out. I mean, when people say hustling, you can make hustlers different. Well, you don't have to go rob. You've got this idea, you could gamble, you could be a good gambler. You with me? But you always had a little hustle. You could do a bit of shoplifting. People always had something, but it was mainly people from poor backgrounds. It wasn't people that had money. It was kids that were brought up, the racism that was going on, the struggle they see their mum and dad go through, the arguments they might have, all caused through the pressure, what they're going through, and it's not caused by them, it's caused by society itself, because the way society is brought up. It's what did they say? Change people's ideas, change people's conception. Well, that's what people were trying to do. But now it's on a bigger scale than political correctness, but then you didn't have political correctness. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So it is an adventure. Because you're in a period where you can sit back and tell your grandkids or your kids, well, in my day, we didn't get this and we didn't get that. We got called this, we got called that. If you got a boyfriend and he's white or vice versa, and you went to the door, it was like, either one of the parents didn't like colour. And that was brought out through ignorance. What they're taught as kids. Because when I went to school, they were teaching the Africans and the Indians in America were savages. And you as a young person, you don't question it.
No.
Because you're too young to question it.
No, exactly, you don't question it, you just...
And then as you get older, you start questioning it.
Much older.
Then you find out, they're the savages. The African's not the savage. The Europeans are savage.
What, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
what we did.
If you're the man on top, you write it the way you see it to suit you. You don't tell the truth.
And it's took us a long time, I think. It's took us a long time to see that. It's took me a long time to see that. A long time.
Yeah, because, age, that old saying, don't you? An African once told me, he said, man that sees sun set before next man knows more than next man. So if you look at it this way, as you get older, you learn more, you take more in, you dissect more. When you're young, you don't dissect anything, it's just straightforward. But as you get older, like you say, even in your job, you've got to be diplomatic.
Yeah, I've had to learn.
Where
to get what I want, I have to use diplomacy.
Right. So should I begrudge you to get where you want? Should I begrudge you that? Right, because I disagree with the system. Like I say, the only way to fight the system, which you've learned, is to join it and be diplomatic. You get your word across being diplomatic, without being screaming and raving or, are you with me?
I've done both as well. I've done the screaming and raving as well.
Usually when you shout and scream, man, it's like they look at you.
Here's an odd one, Brian, though, right? Here's an odd one. Is that when I was little, when I was young, I was really clever. I just was clever, right? And that was something that I was ashamed of in my own background. Does that make sense to you?
Well, maybe it's because, you see, society's funny in a way, right? Because if you write about people and degrade them, like they did about black people,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then all of a sudden, them same people you've been taught about that are this or that are living in your community. So that's what you think of them. That's how you've been taught. So how you've been taught to think like that. You with me?
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're clever as a child, and I think what it is then is that if you're clever, you tend to get, how can I put it? Used to call it the teacher's pet.
Yeah, definitely.
Because all the clever kids.
Yeah, I was definitely a teacher's pet.
And that can go against you because your friends can look at you and go, who the fuck you think you are? You think you're better than us? That's just what you get.
No, exactly.
Rather than say, yeah, go for it, go for it. You with me? But that attitude then was, oh, you think you're better than us, you think you're smarter than us, you think you know more than us. You know what I mean? And I've come across a few like that, you know. But thinking back, good on them. It's like the kid that used to go out and he didn't play with the other kids. And everybody thought, he thinks he's too good for us. Right. But while he was studying and learning and doing what he should have done, are you with me? And then when you look the lives years forward, who's got the better life?
Yeah. The better quality of life.
Yeah, you know, how many men reach at my age, right, and can sit down and retire?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't retire.
Yeah.
You know, if I'd done what I'd done when I left school and done what I should have done, I'd probably retired years ago.
But then if you'd have done what you should have done, right, you wouldn't be saying, I don't regret anything about
No,
you know what I mean?
What I'm saying, what I'm trying to explain to you is that it's not that we've not got the knowledge and that we're stupid.
No.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've worked, like I say, for the education, for the council, I've been a shop steward.
Yeah.
I was voted in by the people, so I'm not daft. I've run a shop. The thing is, at that particular time, you were lucky. You know, it was one of those. When I was in the 4th year, I went to school and I felt like going to school. And when I did go, I was falling asleep anyway. I could have been out the night before. You know. So
yeah, you see, so it was totally uncool to be me, and I would have wanted to be used. Do you know what I mean?
Dougie passes 11 plus.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad passes it. You see, like I say, it's not that you stupid. I always say this: when you have children, you bring them up in the perfect environment, right, where they don't worry about what meal they're going to have. They don't worry about, oh, we're going to get a new pair of shoes because I've got holes in these shoes, I can put cardboard in them, you know, or hand-me-downs from my brothers or my sisters, you know. You don't get that. If you don't get that, or how can you go to school and concentrate when everything's not right at home?
Oh, no.
You can't do it.
What? You're so right.
You just can't do it, man.
No,
that's the same with a lot of us lads, man.
No, you proper. That's so right, Brian.
You know, you've got to be brought up by parents. I mean, if you're good at sport, right, your parents give you the encouragement. But in our time, it was survival. You didn't get the encouragement. Like my dad said, lads are big enough, let them get on with it, man. Are you with me? It's survival, kind of survival thing.
No, I do know what you mean.
You know.
I do know what you mean.
So school, really, as you get older, I mean, come on, let's have it. I could make more than a week at 15 than what a guy could make in a month wages working.
And also you fit with them guys though. You know, then when you're 15, those that you're making that dough with, you fit with, they're yours, they understand it. You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to say what you've just said to me. You all know it instinctively and you're happy together. Do you know what I mean? Whereas on what you said before, if you go into the work environment, if you go into the other world, they're busy saying shit all the time.
Boring.
It's boring as well.
You know, the thing is, like I say, work don't frighten me. I've done work, man. It don't frighten me at all, man. Right? But when I was younger, I was full of beans. Like sport. Sports. I love sport at school. You know, I played football at school, cross country, swam for me school, played
Wow.
cricket for me school.
Wow.
This is Langley Secondary. You know, even when I went on holiday, I was into it all then, you know what I mean? Because I'm one of those that move forward. Something happens to me, right? I'm not one of those that play on it, let it play on my mind. I move on, you know. It's the way I am. I'm just an active person. I just need to doing something. Because my brain, I think if I won the lottery, I think I'd drop dead. Because I won't have to do nothing no more. I've got no worry. And some people thrive on pressure. And I think I'm one of those, you know, that thrive on pressure. Because I've had pressure all my life. Other people, when they've got pressure, they drink a lot, they deal with it in drink.
Yeah.
You know, others they deal with it in drugs. I smoke, yes. But I smoked, I've always smoked. I'm not an abuser of it. I do what I've got to do, like everybody else. I've got responsibility. I do them, you know. And I say to myself, I will not stop doing because of my age. Because you always get that. I know you shouldn't be doing that, man, at your age, man. Dougie used to say to me, you drop dead in the gym.
Yeah.
You know. And I say, Dougie, it don't mean to say because we get to a certain age that, boom, we have to sit down and that's it. Because that's what you're doing. That's it, man. You've got to have some outlet, you know, to keep you going.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, it's not just that, your mind, you're not stimulating your brain. You know, it's like you said when you dig the Reno, I won't be there, let me know, man.
No,
it's a stimulation.
No, absolutely, man.
You know, and I like what did you call it?
I can't say it either. Archaeology.
What time team
yeah,
and all that, you know what I mean? So I like things like that. But, you know, it's just, I think my other son's the same like me, Marvin, younger son, not BJ. He's the same like me, he's always on the go. You know, can't sit still, man, you know, he's always got to be doing something. You know, I think he takes that from me, that part from me. You know, is it a good thing? It is and it isn't sometimes. Because you think that fast, you can't remember what. I've read books, trust me, I've read umpteen books, man. Especially on holiday. And I could sit and read a book in a night, you know.
Right.
And then you'd ask me a couple of days later what I'd read. I'm fucking telling you.
No, I do the same. But Brian, everything you're saying, right, this sounds so fucking patronising, but everything you're saying says that you're clever.
Well, not daft.
Yeah.
I think if it came to holding my own against people that think they're clever, I'm not talking about us now. You know, I don't care whether you're the queen, the king, or I watch politics, man, and I say, well, I'm sorry, I'm not next. I've written you to shreds. I'm being serious. I'm giving you to shreds because, you're coming out with lies. And then when you ask a straightforward question, you're not answering the question, you're moving it to another question, you're talking about something else, and you're getting away with it. But if you was having that conversation with me, you couldn't do that with me.
And I think, perfect, because I think that that's what we found hard to swallow even as teenagers, was their form of criminality.
Yeah, legalised crime.
Legalised crime, downright lies, two-facedness. Do you know what I mean? I think that is partly what we found hard to swallow when we was in the Reno. Or what led us to the Reno.
Well, I think in the Reno, you know, the thing about the Reno is no one was better than anybody else.
Exactly.
I mean, and you had your characters, like you say, Frank and Chips.
Yeah.
Women, you know, always look sharp, you know. Stan Finney, like I say, Ricky and Rito, you know. But we were all the same. One might have more than one.
Yeah.
But they weren't better.
No.
And that's what I try to tell you when we were talking about prestige. I never looked at my family as a prestige family. No way did I. You know, I didn't think my family was better than any other family. I never thought like that. When I knocked about with my friends like Kenny, Vinny, Billy Marble, all them lads, man, right? That was my kind of brothers outside my own family. And I felt dead comfortable with them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to prove to them, and I hope a lot of them will agree, that not because I've got brothers, not because they've got a reputation, you know, because at the end of the day, I didn't get that reputation, you know. So if you want to be you're only being my friend because you're frightened of my brothers, don't be my friend at all. Because if you're my friend, and my brother argues with you and you're in the right, I will stick up for you because you're my friend.
Yeah.
You know? And that's how I looked at it. You know, when I've heard it all, you know, that's why I'm glad now that if I get stopped by the police, you know, say spot check or car, they don't go like they used to, another Thorne.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad. You
Yeah.
just go, right, bang, you can go. Because it's a hindrance as well.
Yeah.
You know, get stopped by the police and you back in the day and you say your name and you got fucking hiding for it. Just being who you was.
No, but it's outrageous all that. We're going to have to finish soon. Right. It was outrageous all that. Well, they play into our story though as well. Do you know what I mean? They must, right, what am I trying to say, Brian? That they're going like that, you're the form. Tell me what I'm trying to say.
No, what you're saying is, it's just like, look, if you look at all families, there's a few.
Yeah.
Right. They seem to get a reputation.
Yeah.
Right, when it's not warranted.
Yeah.
I don't believe it's warranted. Right? You know, because you might, fair enough, you've got a couple that might be tasty.
Yeah.
You know the script, know the score. You know, and then you have those younger ones. But to me, when someone went, the first time I noticed it was in the Whitecliff. Me and a couple of young we were. And it was Zaki, Pinder Singh, Malcolm, and we were all in the Whitecliff watching it. We were all making noise.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was, I think Pinder shouted, "Oh, you don't shut up, I'll come over there and I'll fucking do this." And I went, "No, you won't, I'll get our kid out here." He went, "Who's your kid?" I went, "I'm Ricky." I went, "All right." And I was only young. I think that's the only time, right? Because Philip was their friend.
Yeah.
You with me? But you know how annoying kids can be, you know what I mean? Especially the bit older than you.
Yeah.
But, like I say, I thought, you know, my boys, if I was having trouble, right, you know, it was my friends that we were having trouble. We were having trouble together. You had trouble, like, you know, you're there. My brothers, like I say, don't get me wrong, if someone did take a liberty, they got together. I think that's only natural. I don't think that's something special. You know, it might be because people think, oh, there's a load of them, but it's just being on your own and you've got good friends and you have trouble and you go, right, I'll come get my mates, you know, and you bring your mates, you know. So, like I say, there's a myth about the Thornes. I don't seem to it's a myth. We're no different than anybody else. We had the same problems, the same struggles. We wanted to be recognised, but not. We wanted to be recognised who we are. We're mixed race people. We want to be recognised. We want to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
You know, and that I'm quite happy with. You know, like I say, I look at my nephew, I don't even know. I see him most of them on Facebook, you with me? And some of them I've not seen since a kid and they gone big, and I look at them and go, yeah, you're part of the issue as well because you're the offspring.
Oh.
And if you ask any of the lads, their kids are still part of the history as well. Because they'll take it a step, hopefully, they'll take it a step further. Like you're taking it a step further. You with me?
Yeah.
Because what you're saying is, wait a minute, here's a history there. I'm in the right place at the right time to put that to pen to paper.
Right.
So I've got the opportunity. Don't let it pass me by. Do it and leave some, because there's going to come a time long and be long gone.
No, exactly. No, but exactly, that's what put it in my head partly. It's like, bloody hell, we're dropping like flies in every direction.
We're getting old.
Yeah, no, exactly.
We're getting old.
Yeah,
man.
no, exactly.
Some are lucky,
Yeah.
some are not. You know, that's just the way it is. I mean, Rose Anna said something when she went to Lattie's funeral, and she forget the old timers, and she said, no, I think something like, we're the old timers now.
It's true.
Come on, we are, aren't we?
No, it's
So, it's like I say, you know, when people die, right, it happens. I mean, I think Francis is the first one, God rest his soul, the first one of his brothers to die.
Right.
As far as I know.
I don't know.
You know, well, the ones I know of anyway.
Yeah.
And it comes as a shock to people, because when you get used to seeing somebody, and someone, it's like when a film star dies, or a pop star dies, been around that long, get your head around it, hang on, is he gone?
No.
You know, and like I say, Francis was part of that history.
A huge part.
You know, and I don't know about a huge part. I think everybody played a part. You know what I mean? I think it's wrong.
In my head, is he?
No, it's what you see.
Yeah, exactly. In
you
my
know,
perception.
You know, in my perception, I think.
And from my time as well.
They all, you know, had the moments.
Absolutely, because you lot, you see, that come, I don't go till 76. And you lot before me tell a different Reno again that I've got. All you lads together, of, you know, like, you know what I'm saying. All you tell a really different Reno than I've seen.
Yeah, because it's like anywhere else, isn't it? I mean, you know, times change. Like when we went to the Reno, you know, the music was not the same. The same and not the same, because that was a new track to come out of the women. You know. And there was other man who people don't mention. There's a few men that went down there, you know. There's actually a few Africans that went down. You know what I mean? You know. But it's a time like any other time when people move on.
Yeah.
You know. And the young ones take over. It's their time. You know, when I went down the Reno and seen the young ones and they were doing what similar to what, you know, it's their time, not my time.
Yeah.
I've done my time. I don't mean holiday, I mean, you know, it's their time. Let them get on with it now and let them give their side of the story, like they have done, what they see and how they felt about it. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so when it comes to my time now, like you say, it's harder to get people from that era. A lot of them are passed on. Yeah. You know, so it's harder to get there. I mean, Tony Acton was here. Oh. You'd be giving it, if, like say, Francis was here, he'd be giving his side of it. You know. Two people I'm sadly. Kenny McNeil, Kenny's not long been gone. He would have given you his side of it. Yeah. You know, but like you say, we go. I mean, next year I could be gone. Yeah, exactly. You know, you just don't know. But the thing is, it's good to get it down. Me personally, I think you should write a book. I do honestly think you should write a book. But I keep saying to everyone, after I say this, we're going to end, right? Because we've been going for nearly 2 hours. You still say that. Yeah. That everybody keeps saying that to me, right? But what's the difference? I think I'm turning it off now. Turn it off and just...